Hello and welcome to The Last Matches. This is kind of a happier take on the old Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Little Match Girl, I think it was called. But yeah, that's about all I know, so let's start a new game. Tend to the smallest fire and it can melt icebergs. Dying light. 5 p.m. downtown. Snow falls in the most wonderful time of the year. Everywhere people hurry from one place to another. Workday is ending. Last rays of the sun are disappearing over the horizon, dusting the city in a cloudy blue as feet scurry across the road. Some are rushing to see loved ones, some are buying last-minute presents, but everyone is looking forward to a warm house and a delicious meal. 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. It's really such a busy time. Main Street doesn't see more traffic than at this time of day, at this time of season. Which is why it is perfect for business. This is one group of people on Main Street. Well, there is one group of people on Main Street who aren't in as much of a hurry. Those in the stories and those minding the streets that line the streets, completing last-minute deals. Poppy is one of a dozen or so vendors still waiting outside as people rush by. Matches, get your matches here. Girl beams as she holds a bundle of matches in both her hands for passerbyers to see. Matches, only 20 cents for a bundle or 100 matches. Hello sir, you look like you need matches. How else will you start a fire in your fireplace? Sorry, I've already stocked up on all matches I need this season. Well, what's one more? Cut you a deal for 10 cents a bundle. Looks around nervously for an excuse to leave. Finding none, he says bluntly, "No, sorry, I'm in a hurry." Man hurries away, leaving Poppy standing with her mouth still open. Darn, totally thought I had a sale there. Well, no matter, I'll just do better and sell multiple bundles next time. Matches, get your matches here. Lights slowly go out store by store as owners lock up for the night. One by one until they are all replaced by the single lamp at the end of the street. A bright, flickering glow wavering in the light breeze and illuminating the snowflakes, fluttering across the night. 7 p.m. downtown. Matches, get your matches here. Missy, you're still here? Oh yes, would you like to buy some matches, sir? Man player laughs and weighs his own pack. Already covered for work. But I mean, what are you doing here? It's getting dark and the snow only looks like it will get worse. Looks back at the lamp he just lit. Even a lie as strong as that one must not last through the night. You should be heading home, everyone else says. Poppy looks around at the empty streets wide-eyed. He's right, there aren't many people left anymore. And a few groups of people still walk down the snow-covered cobblestones. Partygoers late at their destination. Scrooge or two working late. Shopkeepers locking up and leaving for home. Last time I heard the church bells rings, it was only 6 times. Surely people will still come out to see the sights. Why, Missy, it's Christmas Eve. Everyone's home with their families. And you ought to be too. Oh, right. It slipped my mind. I was just thinking how more people will be walking here tonight too. Silly me. But it's so busy, I haven't seen made any sales. Lamplighter goes out, lets out a shiver and waves at her as he leaves. Well, Missy, I don't know about you, but I'm heading home. It's getting cold. With this wind, the lamps won't light for long either. Get home safe. Thank you, sir. Okay, the restaurants are still bright. That means people are still celebrating. When they're done eating, they'll want to go home into a warm bed. They'll buy matches for that. She looks up at the small snowflake, or falling snowflakes, and holds them in her hand. Or holds her hand out, catching and melting them on her fingers as she continues her stale girl smile. 9 p.m. downtown. As night drew on, people started leaving the restaurants as they closed for the night. Couple approaches Poppy and she steps forward with a bright smile. Matches? Would you like some match? Perhaps she was feeling bold with that one, but the man didn't have to push her out of the way. Poppy drops the bundle of matches and it lands on a pile of snow on the side of the road. Hey, I can't sell these now. Don't shout them in people's faces. What are you, daft? Stop that, darling. She's just a girl. Or not to know better. Go home, girl. Why doesn't anyone want to buy any matches? Do they want to be warm? That's all I ever needed. Can't go home without selling anything. Father is waiting for money. Bends down to pick out the bundle of wet matches and sighs as the slightly wet matches stare back at her, shining with drops of water here and there. Does her best to pick out as many dry matches as she can, but they had landed flat in the snow. Of the bundle of 30, she could only save 10 or so. The sudden wind picks up and the remaining matches slip from her hands, landing in a puddle on the side of the road this time. Lets out a second sigh. Doesn't matter, those are already wet. The wind blows again, the snow starts falling faster and harder, fluttering against her eyelashes and stinging her eyes as the wind blows them into her face. We squints at the snowstorm and lets out a shiver as she shuffles towards a nearby alcove. Can't see anyone out there. Can't sell anything if I can't see anyone. Okay to take a break now, right? With that thought in mind, she takes a seat on cold, wet brick as she brushes wet hair out of her eyes. Alcove barely fit her. Some hole cut into the wall of a building facing an alleyway. Must have been used to hold firewood, but given the storm and the temperature tonight, all the wood was taken and used. If the wood is gone, then someone is warm. Can't see much, but I can still see the main road if I sit in this direction. Tide world outside the alcove was a blistering white, with snowflakes flying in every which direction. Poppy suddenly felt thankful she put herself into the alcove in time. Poppy blows into her hands and rubs them together, trying to warm herself up, but she can't stop shivering. It's okay, storm will stop soon. Storm will stop soon. Then I'll go back out there and I'll be able to sell more. She shivers violently, unable to finish the sentence as she hugs herself in her muscles attempt to generate heat. Hesitatingly and with trembling hands, she reaches into her basket and rifles through until she grabs onto the stray matches she saved from the wet and discarded bundle. Just one. Still has so many to sell. Okay if I use just one. Just one. Burning alone. 10:45 p.m? Question mark? A dimly lit room, a bright fire, a faded couch. Poppy couldn't help leaning her head towards the fire. Absent-mindedly, she curled her fingers towards the flickering flames. Right as her hand reached down and grabbed her shoulders. Stop. It must have been a dream. Damn. Poppy jumped startled by the yell that rang clearly in her ears. Oh, so the yelling wasn't a dream though, unfortunately. In the tiny flame of the match, she saw as clear as day two children sitting by a great warm fire. How is this possible? Can't believe her eyes, yet she watches as two tiny figures reflected in the light stand up, walk away from the fire to sit on the nearby couch. Curious at the sight, Poppy brings the match closer, basking in the warmth as she watches the scene. Farthest reaches of her mind, forgotten memory crawls towards the light of the match. 6 years ago, orphanage. Oh, so it was a memory, kind of. Poppy jumped, startled by the yell as she yanked away from the fire. They both stumbled, but only she lost her footing. The boy who grabbed her shoulder quickly caught her and steadied her. What do you think you're doing? Fire's dangerous. You shouldn't get that close. Ruddy was a strange child at the orphanage. All the other children who kept to themselves, he was constantly trying to make the conversation with others. Poppy mostly watched him try to talk to others, and Roddy had spoken with her a few times, which she also enjoyed. But even if he was a little odd, a little too easily excitable. I know, I was just feeling cold, so I moved a little closer to warm up. Did it look like I was going to burn myself? Oh, I see. I'm sorry then. Yeah, you're getting too close. I was a little worried. The fire isn't warm enough. You should add some more wood to make it burn brighter. I see. Do we have more wood? No, I'll be sure to buy some more tomorrow morning. Oh right, you got a new job at the factory recently. But you're spending your money on us. Shouldn't you spend it on yourself? How could I possibly spend money on myself when everyone else in the orphanage is cold and hungry? Won't be able to do it. Speaking of which, we don't have any more firewood, but we can do this instead. Walked behind the couch and gave it a shove, motioning for Poppy to move out of the way. She pushed the couch closer to the fire. Finally stopped when there was less than a meter of space between the couch and the fireplace. God, I hope that doesn't catch on fire, otherwise we're definitely gonna have plenty of wood for tonight then. There, now we can sit and be warm. Didn't you just warn me about getting too close to the fire? Now you're pushing flammable things towards it. You're safe when I do it, okay? Laughed as he climbed over the couch and took a seat, the legs tucked underneath him. Come, sit with me. Fire's not any stronger and the couch is further away than where I was standing. It's not gonna be any warmer. It'll be warmer if we sit together. Do you believe me? Why don't you try sitting with me first? It'll be better than standing on your own over there. Fine. Poppy took baby steps until she was in front of the couch, took Ruddy's hand to climb over the armrest. Landed inelegantly on her stomach as Ruddy let her go of her hand and laughed heartily. Stop laughing. This is your fault. Oh, don't pout. You're too cute when you do that. Mina. God, their eyes are so cute. Honestly, I love the art for the sprites. Super cool. So pretty. Silence spread between them and as Poppy gathered herself into a more comfortable sitting position in front of the fire. Kept her gaze on the flames, afraid of how her expression would change if she dared look at Ruddy now. However, while she was preoccupied with watching the fire, Ruddy looked around at everything anxiously in silence. Finally, Ruddy thought of something to say. Hey, you've been here a few months now, haven't you? How do you like it? Surprised by the question, Poppy lifted her head to look at Ruddy. Panic flashed across Ruddy's eyes as he realized the stupidity of his question. He scrambled to correct himself. Sorry, I guess anywhere must have been better than this, huh? Was it a lot better? Where you were, I mean. I lived with my grandmother. She was so warm, but one night she became cold. Poppy bites down on her bottom lip before she could say the last two words. Good poor thing. Didn't look at Ruddy, but she was sure he understood. She had been at the orphanage for 2 months and 12 days, counted because she didn't want to forget the day her grandmother didn't wake up. Man, that is fucking depressing. Do you think we know when we die? I think we do get a feeling, especially when we get older, like someone is calling us maybe. Days before she died, she looked for my father. Father had passed away a long time ago. My father disappeared a few years ago. It was just grandmother and me. Grandma. Yes, Poppy, I'm busy right now. Doing what? Why are you looking for my father? Are you trying to send me away? Poppy. I was so angry at her that night, but she wouldn't explain to me why she did it. I got over it pretty fast, but I still wish I hadn't got mad at all. Then 2 weeks later, the night before she died, she prepared 2 days worth of food for me and made so much food. Are we expecting someone over? Oh no. Just wanted to make sure my darling Poppy had enough to eat. I can hardly eat this much, Grandma. Oh, you can definitely be surprised at how much a kid can eat. We ate dinner and then she put the leftovers aside and went to bed. Grandma. Where are you, Grandma? Please. Is someone else in the room? She's my only grandchild. Promise me you'll look after her. That's all I ask for. You've always been such an annoying woman. Grandma? Poppy, what are you doing out of bed? You'll catch a cold wandering around this late at night. Grandma, are you really sending me away after all? No, of course not. Don't leave me, please, Grandma. I love you. Don't leave me. Oh, Poppy, I love you too. I would never want to leave you. Promise me, don't leave me, Grandma. Why is she looking around? Is she looking for something? I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. Let's go back to bed. I won't leave. Who was she talking to? Poppy gives a shrug. Doesn't matter. Whoever it was didn't come to find me. Woke up that morning and she was cold. Grandma. Help, someone help. My grandma won't wake up. I feel so cold. Ran to find someone to help. When I found someone, all they did was take her away. Poppy hugged her knees and rested her head on them. So, where are you taking her? Oh shit, she's a kid. Know how to be delicate for a kid. You can take care of the old lady. I'll try talking to her. No, you can't take her. Look, kid, we have to. She's dead. Do you understand what that means? So you understand that, but you'll be able to live with your life. For her good too. She wants to rest in peace somewhere else. But is she not comfortable here? I'll take care of the house and everything. I can light fires and I can clean the top shelves. Kid. Okay, I can't reach the top shelves, but I can raise the second to the top. No one ever touches the things that high, so it'll be fine. Please, take Grandma away. I'm sorry, but we have to. Of course I understand now why he had to. A little bit bad, actually, making him try to explain that to me. In the end, no one came to find me. She was left uneaten and gone in their rush to get me out. Sent me here to the nearest orphanage. I'm sorry for asking. It's okay, this happened 2 months and 12 days ago. A long time ago. So I'm fine. Part of me still can't believe it. They all just left. Everyone. Mother, father, and even Grandma. Tears stung her eyes. Took every ounce of her strength to keep them back. Didn't want to cry in front of Ruddy. Didn't want to trouble him with. I'll stay with you. I'll stay with you, okay? I know I'm not your mom, or your dad, or your grandmother, but you're not alone, okay? I'll be here. I'll always be with you. I'll stay. I'm fine, I promise, but thank you. Two of them sat there for a while, till the fire died into little embers, and Poppy remembered thinking, it is warmer. Even if the fire is nothing now, it's so much warmer to sit with someone. But in the end, he left me too. They're going to adopt me. Really? That's great news. I'm happy for you. But why? Well, not to find work. Why would they... Trailed off as Poppy ran up to her and took both his hands in hers. Why does it matter? You're wanted. You'll have a family. Was it too much? Was the bitterness and the sadness too evident in her voice? Tears that stung her eyes? No, don't you dare cry. Be happy for him. Poppy dips her head down. Even as she cries, at least don't let him see. Poppy, I promise I'll be back. Come back to see you. I won't refuse to break my promise. I'll stay with you. Gently he placed a finger under Poppy's chin and lightly tilted her face to look up at him. I'm sorry. I want to say goodbye with good wishes. Poppy, I promise. I promise I'll come back to help you. And we get our first choice. I'll be waiting or you don't have to. Ooh. But this one seems like a cuter option. Thank you. Also love that there's like a little match on the right of the text box. It's kind of cute. Love the idea of it. Same with like the burnt parchment. Very fitting for the great game. I'm so sorry. Even though today is your day to be happy, I'm crying and needing to cheer me up again. Roddy's expression softened and he relaxed, holding Poppy's hands in his. It's alright. It makes me the happiest knowing I can make you happy too. I'll be waiting then. In the end, he never did come back. 11 p.m. downtown. Let me guess, he's one of the kids that's over there. Matches long since burnt out, with a black stalk stinging her fingers as the tiny flame died in the frigid air. That happened so long ago, she had nearly forgotten about him. In her heart, she found, I miss him. I miss sitting by the fire with someone. Grandma, Ruddy, so much warmer when I could sit next to someone. When was the last time she sat with someone in front of a warm fire? No, I can't cry. Can't get lost in these memories. I have matches to sell. No one will buy matches from a crying girl. But here she pulls herself up and out of the alcove. Snowstorm had calmed itself in the past 15 minutes. Snow still fell heavily, but nothing like the whipping winds of earlier. Cautiously, Poppy steps out onto the road again. The world was covered in a thick layer of white, footprints the only colour painting the ground as she stepped out. She almost felt bad ruining it. Matches for sale. Says, but it's barely a cry, voice barely above what she'd use for a soft conversation. She puffs her breath into the night, watching as it dissipates into the air. Down the road, the single lamp had been blown out by the storm, but the street was still bright, snow reflecting light from the sky. Poppy lets out a shiver and, not seeing a single soul in the street, decides to return to the alcove. There may still be more people who come by later. It just snowed too hard. There must be more people. I haven't sold a single match yet. Can't go home if I haven't sold any matches. Dissipating heat. 11:15 p.m. Poppy huddles in the alcove again, rubbing her hands to warm up from the venturing out into the streets. As the storm picks up again, Poppy searches through a basket and pulls out another stray match from earlier. Shouldn't. Something that can eventually be sold, but can't help but remember the vision from the last time she struck the match. She's still alone out there, but the idea of being with someone again was too much of a draw. Even if it's just 5 seconds, I want to see you again. Strikes the second match. But what greeted her was not the image of the pale blue orphanage, with barely enough heat to warm half its occupants. Instead, it was a grand and wonderful feast spread out on a sturdy wooden table before her. A decorated candlestick stood in the middle of the table, casting a warm glow to the food in front of her. For a moment, Poppy was speechless at the sight before her. She hasn't seen a meal this extravagant in years. Also just noticed the creepy person in the window over there. Not creepy at all. Innocent's father. Thoughts trailed off by the very person she thought of appeared in the scene before her. Eat up, Poppy. It's all yours. And unintentionally, the tears started slipping from her eyes. You were so kind, Father. 5 years ago, orphanage. Poppy, come with me. Poppy looked up from the withered and torn pages of the picture book she was flipping through, saw the fringe of her caretaker's dress disappear around the corner. Was she in trouble for something? Caretaker usually only called a child into the office if they were in trouble or something. Everyone had heard the wails that come from her office when this happens. So as Poppy followed the caretaker out of the living room and into the office, a number of dark thoughts brewed in her head. sort of trouble was she in? Did she do something wrong? Normally kept to herself, especially after Ruddy left. She had no one to talk to, no one to bother, and no one to offend. But when they arrived at her office, she was surprised to see a familiar-looking man standing at the chair across from her desk, sullen and nervously gripping his hat between trembling fingers. He was dressed modestly, clothes faded and worn, with stains steeping too deep and too long to be washed out. Poppy could spot various nicks and cuts on his face, beard unevenly shaved. Is this her? Poppy? Poppy's eyebrows raised at the sound of her name. Seeing her reaction, the man started towards her, making her stumble back in surprise at the caretaker. Poppy, it's you. Don't you remember me? It's me. I'm your father. Father? The pieces started clicking together. Millie faced that resembled pieces of her grandmother and herself in the mirror, but patted down with parts of a stranger. Yes, you do remember me, Poppy. It was hard to remember him. Poppy didn't have many memories of the man from her childhood. Brief glances, she saw a man drinking and falling asleep by the fire, no bed of his own in the one-room apartment. Saw shadows of people arguing before a cloudy window, and she saw a hand on a knob as the door closed with one final bang. Yet, seeing the hope in the man's eyes, she couldn't help but feel as though she knew him too. With a hesitant smile, she answered, I think so. Poppy, oh Poppy. Poppy was suddenly pulled into a hug by the man. For a brief moment she was stunned speechless. However, the man started shaking and crying. She relaxed, feeling pity for him. Poppy, I'm so glad I found you. Poppy, I'm so sorry I left you. Never should have done it. I'm so sorry. Promise everything will be good from now on. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming back for me, Father. Sorry for breaking out the touching moments, but I'll need you to sign some papers for Poppy's release, as well as discuss payment. Hercule released Poppy and stood up to talk with the caretaker. Yes, of course. No cost is too great to have Poppy by my side again. Poppy watched as the two adults walked away, leaving her in the chilly office and the lingering warmth of her father's hug. For the first time since Ruddy left the orphanage, Poppy found her lips tugging into a small smile. Someone returned for her. Door opened into a small but warm apartment, brightly lit by the window that faced onward into the street. I'm sorry it's so small, but this is all I could afford even with a loan. Down Orphanage really squeezed as much as they could out of me. But never mind that. One thing is that I have you back. I'll definitely be forgiven. Forgiven? I'm so sorry. But no, don't be sorry. Purposely went to get you. I want you here. There's only one room, but you can have it. I want you to be safe and warm after all. What? Where will you sleep? There's a couch out here. Thank him. Because I get the feeling that we'll probably not get to use the bed anytime soon after he's been forgiven, so might as well enjoy it while we can. Thank you so much. You've done so much for me. Don't mention it. I'm the one who went missing all these years. You deserve everything I have to give. And what happens when that runs out, Father? Poppy felt her chest tighten at those words. Thank you, Father. With the situation settled, Poppy's father helped move her belongings into the apartment, which weren't much. Poppy didn't own much, just a couple of sets of undergarments, 2 dresses that allowed her to swap clothes between washes, and 1 pair of shoes. Everything she had grown accustomed to, or the faded books and worn dolls belonged to the orphanage. Couldn't bring any of them with her. Need to get you registered for school too. Really? School? Poppy had never been to school. Never thought she'd ever have the chance to. Now hearing that she could possibly attend made her eyes wide and starry. Yeah, every kid should go to school. Besides, it'll make you happy, right? The orphanage caretaker said she liked books. Yes, I always liked reading or looking at the pictures. There were someone at the orphanage who would read to me. Did they teach you how to read? A little bit, but didn't get far. Oh, they'll teach you in school. Although it won't be now. It's far too late in the semester to accept new students. That's alright. Thank you so much for everything already. I don't know how to repay you. Nonsense. We're family. You don't need to repay me for anything. At least let me take care of the chores. I don't know how to read or write, but I know how to clean and cook a bit. Grandma taught me how to make a few dishes. Grandma, alright, you were with her. Poppy couldn't be sure, but she thought she saw her father's expression sour. He died, huh? It was getting close to her time, I suppose. Sorry I missed it. Yeah, I'm sure you were. Porter looking unexpectedly fearful as his lip trembled. Listen, Poppy, I'm honest when I say I regret leaving you behind. Believe me, right? Fierce Poppy nodded. Father had come all this way to find her and even pay for her school. He didn't love her and regret his actions. Why would he do all this work? Yeah, for personal gain. Yeah, you're about to learn a very unfortunate life lesson here, little Poppy. Many times did I believe that? I know it was a horrible father. All I did was gamble and drink when I lived with you and your grandmother. When I left, that's all I did too. I just couldn't stop. Lost track of days and weeks. I didn't realize it had been years until I returned one night and your grandmother kicked me out. She did? Yes, and she was right to. Don't blame her at all for what she did. But I guess my days caught up to me. I can barely remember anything that happened that night. Really pain. There was so much pain. So I agreed. Help, it hurts. Someone help me. He clung onto the edges of the crumbling bricks in the alleyway. Anything to help stabilize him. If he could just make it to the main road, he could find someone to help him. Certainly no one would just let him suffer in pain. Ooh, who's this distinguished gentleman? Disgusting thing. Oh, not so distinguished gentleman then. Someone there? Please help me. Then I grunted as he collapsed on the floor, curled up and shaking from the pain. There's certainly someone there. You could just make out a fuzzy outline. Help, I don't know what's happening. Please, get a doctor. Everything hurts. Of course, everything hurts when you're dying from your own bad decisions. Please. Reached out for the hems of the person's pants, but they quickly stepped back. No need to de-pants him. Oh, yeah, pants him in the middle of the street. Don't touch me. Oh, cute butterflies. Well, is this the one? Can make out something fluttering by the person's head. It wasn't able to tell what it is. So is this guy like the Grim Reaper or something? Listen to me carefully. Person bent down and pulled at his collar, bringing him up to his feet. You're going to die in minutes. Die? But I'll let you live if you change yourself and find your daughter. Am my daughter? You'll go look for her. Yes, whoever you're looking for, I'll find them for you. Please, just stop the pain. Your daughter. I'm only asking you to look for your daughter. My daughter. Yes, I can get her for you. Why am I offering you this at all? I don't want your daughter. I want you to be better to her. Can you do that? Can you do it for her? I've just realized, I think you were the one that we saw in the window creepily staring at us in our memory, right? Anything, just to help me. Turn over a new leaf. Find your daughter. Next thing I knew, I woke up alive in a hospital. Nearly died from alcohol poisoning that night. Said some kind of Samaritan saw me dying in an alleyway and brought me in. Listen, Poppy, I'll be honest. I've forgotten all about you and my mother before that night. And it crossed my mind to look for you. Man, seriously, you're gonna be saying this in front of your fucking child? I'm pretty sure that was God looking out for me. Give me a second chance and ask me to do better. Put her shoulders and knelt down before her. Reminded me that I have you, and that I need to do right by you, my only daughter. My only family left, Poppy. I promise I'll keep you safe. But what happens when you get a little bit too comfortable and forget about your promise? Poppy had not said a single word throughout his story, and so much running through her mind. Truthfully, there was a lot she wanted to say, but she didn't know where to start. He was in the hospital. Was he alright now? Did he really talk to God? How did he end up finding her? Did he go back to their old home? But all that came out of her mouth was, "Just so glad you're alive. Thank God he let you come back. Thank you for coming to find me." There's something else in the world who wanted her. She wasn't alone. Nothing else mattered. Yeah, there in the window. It's definitely him. That night, her father brought home the most delicious spread of food she'd ever seen. To celebrate our reunion as a family. Hella had said with a warm smile as Poppy stared wide-eyed at the largest amount of food she had ever seen. What's the matter? If you don't eat, the food will get cold. Started slicing up the whole roasted chicken at the center of the table and cutting a slice to put on Poppy's plate. This is for me? I can eat this? Of course, I brought it just for you. Cautiously, Poppy put a fork and knife to cut she just received and cut a portion off. Taking her first bite, she was surprised by the burst in flavour. Rarely ever had the chance to eat meat, much less something cooked so perfectly, with a balanced blend of expensive spices. Something wrong? Do you not like it? No, it's delicious. Thank you for buying me food. But as much as she loved her grandmother's cooking, Poppy couldn't help thinking it was the best meal she ever had in her life. Because her father certainly never provided any meal even halfway to that quality anymore. Sound startled Poppy, who jumped in surprise and looked away from the window she was polishing. Father? Father sat at the table by the fire with his head in his hands. Sorry, Poppy. Didn't mean to scare you. Is everything okay? Yes, you don't need to worry. Well, I think we'll be fine. Truth is, second chances don't come for free, Poppy. Begged for a loan to get me back on my feet. Mind you, I could pay it off after finding a job, but it's not enough. Are you in trouble? No, not yet, but I've been quite insistent. Showed up at my workplace and threatened. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can send you to school anytime soon. It's okay, I don't mind waiting until we're financially stable. Thank you. I'm sure if I work extra hard this month, they'll give me a nice bonus. But I can still buy you some extra toys and dolls then. You don't have to, Father, but I would love that very much. However, she never got any new toys or the chance to go to school. Poppy jumped and skidded her chair backwards as the plate crashed onto the floor, swept from the table by her father. Father? Not enough. You can't keep spending like this. What do you mean? Do you think all this food falls off of trees? Do you think money comes out of thin air? I had to work all day and I can't keep buying all this luxurious food for you. Poppy was stunned. She knew all that, of course. She lived with very little when she was with her grandmother. Honestly, dinner every night was more than she ever expected in her whole life. No, Father, I understand. Finally found her voice. It's fine. Any food on the table is good enough. We don't have to eat the best. What? No, we have to. I want to have the best. You're my daughter, and you deserve the best. You have to have the best. I'll find a way. You know, I think the best food is home cooked. It'll be cheaper if we made our meals ourselves. You wouldn't want to try my cooking. I'm still not very good, but I can cook a bit. Grandma taught me how to make stew. Are you sure? Yes, I have all the time at home anyways. If we need more money to pay back your loans, I can do some work too. What? No, you're far too young. When I was at the orphanage, there was a boy who found work at this age too. Well, he is a boy. So, I'm sure I can do the same. He held his chin in his hand, as though thinking deeply. However, he quickly agreed. Right, but nothing physically demanding. Don't want you carrying anything heavy. I'm plenty strong. Still, most of the pain work for kids is being an extra pair of hands to help carry things. How about you do sales? Sales? Yeah, don't they look for girls who do that? Yeah, I can look for a job in sales. But no one ever hired her. Everyone commented that she was too skinny or too short or didn't talk well. Food on the table was ever diminishing. Even though they switched to making home-cooked meals, Poppy was not a good cook and tends to create edible but untasty food. One time she brought it up to her father, he grew irritable. Poppy was afraid to press further. Afraid? Why am I afraid of him? He's my father. He's working hard for me. I shouldn't ask. I should be happy with him. Next thing contains childhood booze. Would you like to skip it? For my own sanity and probably yours, I'm gonna skip over it because I'm already feeling quite uncomfortable with it. So, but thank you, Dev, for putting this in because. Yeah, don't particularly want to be reading a scene like that today. Poppy. I mean, we can all imagine the type of shitty father he is, because... yeah. Poppy, wake up. Please wake up. Poppy. Poppy sputtered and gasped for air as her eyes opened to the dreary day in the apartment. Vision cleared as she focused on her father, still smelling lightly of alcohol, with tears in his eyes. Poppy, oh Poppy, thank God you opened your eyes. She shuffled away, rolling as far as she could away from him. It wasn't much. She hit the back of the sofa. Ow. A towel draped over her face. Her hands and her face ached as she tried to push herself up. No, don't move. You'll start bleeding again. What? Looked at her hands, which were now bandaged poorly up to her arms. Didn't have any medical supplies. Must have used up everything. Here. Lifted a towel, which was slightly printed with her blood. Moved to hold it against Poppy's head. He instinctively leaned away. I'm sorry. Father dropped the towel and looked away. To his surprise, she watched tears drip down from his eyes. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I wanted one drink. Promise it won't happen again. It won't ever happen again. Poppy, you'll have to believe me. Yeah, right. That's what they all say. It was just one drink, right? Whatever nasty feeling she felt clawing at her stomach, telling her she should run, she swallowed down and forced herself to smile. Of course I believe you. I forgive you. No, she didn't have anyone else. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Poppy. Truly are the best daughter I could ever ask for. But thinking back to that day, Poppy couldn't help but wonder. Who was he asking for forgiveness from? God. Because he only cared about what he was going to do to him, not actually giving a shit about his daughter. Of course, that wasn't the last time he hit her. Because of course it wasn't. So he saw that he could get away with that one time, so why not do it more, right? 11:30 p.m. Poppy tugs at the scarf around her neck. Scars on the first time is long since faded, but the bruises she's covered up with fresh from last week. Telling cuts and bruises on my face would make me so less. Glad you listened to me. Snow fell quietly around her. Match sizzled it out between her fingers. Burnt out so quickly. She mumbles and drops it with the rest of the blackened matches and a layer of snow under her in the alcove. All burnt out so quickly. Buries her head in her arms. Almost as fast as your promises, Father. He didn't change. Not one aspect of it. Stopped going to work the moment he realized he couldn't make enough to pay back the loans. Any money he didn't earn was spent on gambling and drinks. When the baker's men came to shake him, he offered Poppy his collateral. Man, fuck this man. Family is family. Poppy was going to work to help pay off the loans anyway, so why did I ever think he was going to change? He was drunk when I left him tonight too. Don't come home with any money, you'll be angry again. Poppy looked out into the street. Snow had slowed again, the fat, fluffy flakes taking more time to fall as it drifted aimlessly in the air. There's no one out there. Why wander out? Poppy looked at the cold match in her hand. For a few seconds it had been warm, but now it was the same as everything else. Cold, silent, lonely. Even the brightest flame. Poppy lost count of the matches she struck by now, motion becoming automatic, with her cold fingers in a snow-soaked cloak, or clothing. Even if it was just 5 seconds, even if it was the same meal over and over again, couldn't help wishing for that evening. And her father was kind, and there was more food than she had ever laid out before her. But she strikes the next match. Beautifully decorated Christmas tree reflects in the flame. Polished ornaments, carefully hung candles. Figures of angels on each branch. At the very top, a decorated star painted in reflected gold, painting together it a warm shine as it bounced back, the glow of the lights around it. What? I don't understand. Poppy has gotten used to seeing images in the flames from a distant past. But this? Curious, Poppy forces herself on her shaky legs to take a few steps out of the alcove. Burning match wavers in the winter storm, but she can see it perfectly lining up one over another. Train the flame matches the one down the street in a town square. Squinting at the tree in the flames, she recognizes herself walking up to the biggest tree. 1 month ago downtown. Are we having like a Christmas Carol situation going on here? Because we had past, present, and now future. Beginning of December. Month of Christmas had just started, but people were already on Main Street at all hours of the day to shop for gifts for their loved ones. Mayor had talked about doing this for years, so no one took him seriously, and townsfolk were pleasantly surprised when his plan was finally put in motion this year. 3 large Christmas trees were set up in the town square, perfectly decorated by a designated team of expert designers. Town had never heard of anyone with such a title and simply ignored the mayor's excitement. So when the candles were all lit for the first time on December 1st, everyone applauded his genius and vision. Sales went up as people flocked to the square nightly from both this town and neighbouring ones to see the spectacle. Even Poppy was drawn to the beautiful lights and the warmth of the atmosphere despite the chilly weather. It was only matches this evening too, but like everyone else, took a break as the sun went down to see the candles and the trees being lit. How beautiful. We should have one in our home too. We do have one. We should have one this big. We could put it in the yard. Mama, I want that. Child points at a small wrapped ball of chocolate tied to one of the branches. No, you can't just eat food you find in the trees. We'll stop at a chocolate store before we return home. Poppy couldn't help giggling at the exchanges she heard around her. Everyone was so sweet and happy. Seeing the crowd shift, Poppy skipped towards the tree in the centre, taking a chance to admire the lights and decorations up close. Wow, they really have chocolates up there. Are we really not allowed to take one? Why else would they put it up there? Mischief chuckle, Poppy reached out to grab the chocolate. Hey, you, what are you doing? Startled by the yell, Poppy flinched and shrunk back, turned to find the source of the voice, and saw one of the workers in uniform coming marching up to her. What are you doing? You can't touch that. Oh, I'm sorry. Just looks so nice, eh? Look, just get out of here, blocking the view for everyone else. What? But there's no one... Shut off. That doesn't make any sense. The square was absolutely packed with people. Came to watch the tree being lit for the night. Yet there was hardly anyone around her. A quick look around told her that there was indeed still a huge crowd in the square. Everyone was bundled around the other side of the main tree. Still laughed and smiled and pointed at the lights above them, but they occasionally cast a glance at Poppy. A rather large ring had formed around. Oh, right. Curled her lips inward and nodded at the man. He also looked down at her with contempt. Oh, stand aside. You're begging elsewhere. People are actually trying to make sales this month. Right, of course, I'm sorry. What are you still doing here? Scram. Yes. Poppy hurried away from the center of the square, path opening up for her as she ran through the crowd. Sorry to make you do all the hard work. Nonsense, it's what I'm here for. Please enjoy your holiday shopping. Poppy found a corner of the square to sit. It was out of sight from the store entrances, so no one came out to shoo her away. So the people who walked past her either turned away in disgust, or gave her one glance and pretended not to see her. They got lost in the glitz and glamour of the evening. Me too. Can't believe I got lost in the sparkles too. Poppy leaned her head against one hand and stared up at the Christmas tree, losing herself in sounds of laughter and smiles. For a little bit she could pretend that. Poppy! Poppy opened her eyes at the sound of her name and saw... Huh? Poppy drops the match from her hands. Flame goes out in an instant as it hits the snow. In darkness, Poppy tries to gather her wits because that didn't happen. Sat alone and wished. I wished I could go there with Mum and Dad and Grandma. Wished I could go there with someone else, someone holding me close. I sat alone. He didn't come for me. Right. It's Freddy all grown up now. Poppy, it's Poppy, right? Poppy blinked at a young man smiling down at her, suddenly out of breath from running through the crowd to reach her. He was taller, face more slender, no longer dressed in thin and patched clothing, but it was unmistakable. Yeah, can't forget someone with eyes like that. He's also got a brooch to kind of match his eyes too. Really, I recognize that hair color anywhere. I mean, I'd notice the eyes more than the hair, because the hair is kind of normal. Thor brought a small smile to her lips. She stood and took a better look at him. Poppy knew that Ruddy had been adopted into a fairly well-off family. He certainly grew to look at. Clean and warm clothing was a far cry from how Poppy was dressed. Here's you. I'm so glad. I'm so sorry I never came back to find you. I honestly tried to, but it took months before my parents let me leave the house. When I returned, it was too late. They said your father already left with you. Didn't leave an address with the orphanage, so I didn't know where to look for you. Poppy, is something wrong? Why is he talking to her? What an eyesore. Is he really gonna give money to her? He must be more desperate than her. Should you really be talking to me? What? He seems to finally notice his surroundings for the first time. A quick glance at the crowd that formed a distance away from Poppy showed the disdain in their eyes. All the expressions looked down at both him and Poppy. Well, right. Parents were good to you, right? Why would you talk to me? Poppy, what's got into you? You know I don't care about any of that. Changed quite a bit. Haven't changed that much. Disappointment in Ruddy's voice made Poppy pause and reconsider everything she had just said. It wasn't his fault that the crowd reacted the way they did, but she took it out on him. Haven't changed that much. Eyes drifted down to their shoes. Words clumsy in her mouth, her face heated up. Sorry for saying all that. Well, I don't blame him for walking away now. I'm sorry too. Poppy snapped her head up in surprise. What for? Make you feel bad. Springing up on you all of a sudden. Never coming back to find you. Don't have to apologize for any of that. Then you don't have to apologize for earlier either. That's not the same. How is it any different? Both upset with each other. Well, I did worse things, didn't I? No, that's not how it is at all. Frustrating. Not the same, and he didn't do a single thing wrong. Why can't I get him to see that? He's laughing. You're right, you haven't changed that much at all. And let me make it out to you, please. Thought you said we don't have anything to apologize for to each other. So you agree then, eh? But like I said, I have a lot more to apologize for. To tell you the truth, Poppy, even though it's been years, I haven't stopped thinking about you. You were impossible to forget, even when I tried. Got me through those days in the orphanage. No one else talked with me, you know. I didn't know. Got a terrible job just to be away from the place for a little longer. When you started talking with me back then, it made me really happy. Wish so often that things didn't end the way it did. Don't say that. You got adopted into a happy family. It'd be horrible of me to say that. I'd still prefer to have been with you. I'd say you'd be lying. It'd be one more thing for you to apologize for. Don't laugh, I'm scolding you. Sorry. You're never going to stop apologizing to me at this rate. Well, that's enough about me. Both of them jumped as a sharp, reedy drone bellowed from an accordion from across the square, causing all heads to turn towards the corner adjacent to them. Neither of them had noticed, but chairs were set up upon a small platform. In that corner, a group of men had arrived with instruments in hand. Oh, just a few notes and quickly burst into an energetic waltz, making the whole crowd burst into laughter and smiles. As Poppy began to clap along, a few kids ran out to dance in front of the stage. Others soon followed, young men asking their partners out to a dance as the crowd made room for them. Wouldn't it be nice too? The objection she received less than an hour ago was still fresh in her mind. She wrung her hands in front of her, doing her best to keep her smile for everyone else around her. No need to be a spoilsport. Do you like the music? What do you think of dancing? Oh, you look so happy. Oh, it looks like they're having a lot of fun. Poppy, I'm asking if you like to dance with me. Huh? What? Would you like to dance with me? Heard him ask, but she couldn't quite register the question. Poppy? Poppy hesitantly looked down at herself, dressed in rags and dull, tattered clothing. Eyes drifted back to Ruddy, neat and pristine, perfectly fitting for this evening. You should say no. You know how they looked at him when they saw him talking with me. Still, her eyes shifted to the dancing couples, dancing that flew through the square. Ruddy was, with his handsome face, long tan skin and beautiful eyes. She wanted this. He definitely did. But still, yes. First a doubt, soft and barely audible from lips parted in his tiny smile, which was quite the contrast to Ruddy, who beamed as soon as he heard the word. Great, let's go. Whoa. He took her hand and pulled her into the crowd, unable to contain her excitement. In comparison, all Poppy could do was stutter and stumble as she followed behind him, able to bring herself to look away from the floor. You were trying to get rid of me less than an hour ago. Is it really okay to come running back in? Never she snuck a glance at Ruddy, found him laughing and smiling back at her. What was that? What was that? I just beat out water. She averted her gaze as Ruddy came to a sudden stop, causing Poppy to crash into him. Oh, I'm sorry. No, not at all. I'm sorry for moving so fast. It's a good place as any, don't you think? Turning to face Poppy directly, Ruddy took both her hands in his. Poppy blinked, not quite knowing what to do with her hands. In the corner of her eyes she saw couples raising their hands together, and laughing as they danced. Looking back at how her hands connected with Ruddy, she felt her face flush and quickly looked away, taking her hands out of his, but Ruddy held fast. I have to hold both your hands to dance. Do you? Well, just trying his right hand with her left. Depends on the type of dance, but everyone's waltzing to the music. Twisted his right hand to his shoulder, pulled her close with his other hand on her waist. Poppy jolted, causing her to lean into Ruddy. As he chuckled softly into her ear, her heart thumped wildly in her chest. Hope he doesn't feel my heart beating that hard. Slowly, step by step, Ruddy moved, leading Poppy through the crowd. Despite her reluctance to hold hands earlier, it was all she could do to cling on to him. Despite her best to hide her bright red face from him by staring out at their feet. Poppy, you know, when you're dancing, you can't look at the ground. Oh, I don't want to step on your feet. It's okay if you do. Huh? Poppy was so surprised by the response, she actually looked up at Ruddy and found the breath taken out of her. Ruddy had grown out to be handsome. Poppy thought that immediately upon seeing him, but had been in a corner of the square in the darkening evening. By the center of the square, warm candlelight reflecting off his hair and eyes, music floating around them as they stepped in beat with the tune. He absolutely glowed. Poppy averted her eyes again, but found she couldn't keep her eyes away from Ruddy. Not the way his eyes changed color in the light. Even though it was in her own head, Poppy was embarrassed with a cliched thought. More fun to look up when you're dancing than worry about your feet. So keep your eyes on me, okay? Poppy, still wide-eyed, nodded absent-mindedly. Okay. Couldn't help feeling that everything about this moment was too perfect. Here, dancing under the pine needles, illuminated by hundreds of candles wavering in the frosty air, atmosphere brightened by song. Did she really belong here? Was she allowed to be here? Thoughts still whispered to her in the back of her mind, but step by step, little by little, toiling amongst the crowd, listening to their laughter. She could believe it too. Music made her light on her feet. Ruddy beside her made her feel safe. Before she realized it, Poppy found herself smiling and laughing along with everyone else. She held onto Ruddy's arms, let him swim and step to the music with her. There you go. Now you have it. She had the first idea about dancing, and maybe Ruddy did. She couldn't completely tell, but he sure acted like he did. It was strangely sweet, bright and warm, and it made her heart soar. She hadn't felt this earnestly happy and she couldn't remember. It didn't matter. The sparkling ornaments barely in tune with the festive music. All that mattered was that she felt happy in this moment. The CG was really cute, I liked it. Candles shined brightly on each branch above her, wavering and burning onwards, continuing the magic for her evening. Even as the music died down, everyone continued to laugh. Poppy continued to dance with Ruddy. Hey Poppy, would you mind meeting me up again? Huh? I'd like to spend some time with you again, if you don't mind. Would you want to see me again? Any time would do. We can meet up here again. You can go dancing or do anything you like. I would. I love that. I nearly would have, but that didn't happen. Didn't ask me. Now that this happened, On that day, all I did was sit alone as the band played. I just wished. Surrounded by everyone's happiness. She just wished and wished to be like them. Happy with family, happy with a lover. Dancing accepted by everyone else and allowed to have fun. But it didn't happen. 11:50 p.m. Fizz. Matches fizzle out before the stick burns out. Huh. What happened to the light? The warmth? Oh, why? Why are my hands wet? Looked around and... why is the street so blurry? Snowy, but do I have something in my... She reaches up to rub her eyes. Find her fingers coming away wet and soaked. Huh. Tears? I'm crying? Seen from the flame in the matchstick came crashing back onto her, and she let out a sob. Why? Why? Was that what I wanted so badly? Can't help yelling as the sobs become uncontrollable. Oh, come, why? I should have been happy. I should be happy. I have a family. I have a place to go home. Yet why? Why do I need someone to come find me? Was I that jealous of everyone around me? Why couldn't I just be happy? Why did I need to be anything like them? Why couldn't I be like them? Was that all she wanted? That's all. Dreams is just for someone to come back to find her. To just magic it all away with the sweep of a wand. Was that she always this weak? Why? Why? Why does everything I do never work? Drop to her knees, tremble, causing all the matchsticks to fall out, scattered into the snow. Useless, just like her. They'll never light again. Why? Tried so hard. Why couldn't I be happy? Why couldn't I do anything to make myself happy? Why did I become like this? Why did I become someone so useless? Why? Here between the tears and the sobs, Poppy dropped into the snow. Fingers blue from the chill as she curled in on herself. She continued sobbing, tears mixing into the melting snow, all for an audience of the wind and the night sky. Isn't sure how long she cried in the snow, but by the time she calmed down, she was starting to feel warm. Who knew I didn't need matches? I just needed to cry until I felt warm. She sniffles one more time as she rolls into her back to look at the sky. The snow has finally stopped. The clouds drift slowly across the night sky. Poppy can spot stars between the gaps. Grandma, I want you to go back to those days. Or I want to go back to those days. Poppy let out a yawn, watching clouds move so lazily, made her sleepy too. We'll sleep here, they'll be mad when they find me in the morning. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Rekindled. Home. Poppy opens her eyes to an old but familiar scene. Oh, so it was you showing me those scenes, right? Wait. It only just clicked because I remember when the grandma was talking to somebody, I thought it was the father. When she was talking, we saw a white cloak go by when he left. He was fucking there too. Man, believe I just realised that. The stove was bubbling stew, fireplace with the bright flames. Warm laughter coming from the couch by the fire. Table full of plain but beloved food laid out in front of her. A bit of it made Poppy smile. Hello, mister? When did he get here? A tall, pale man sat across from her. There's a flicker of annoyance across his face as he drums his fingers on the table. Do you not hear me? He's looking at me, though. Mister? What was that? Rod looked as though it shook. Waits a moment, but it doesn't happen again. Attention back at the stranger. Finds him still looking at her intensely. She can't help but avert her gaze. Eyes landing on the food. Are you hungry? Sight of food makes her stomach growl, but she hurries to serve the stranger first. Cutting chicken. Much more bland than what she saw in matches. For him. As great as the food tasted that first night under her father's care, she remembers now what rich food actually made her stick to her stomach when she went to sleep. No, not yet. Poppy. Poppy jumps, head twirling around to find the source of the voice. Strange. Never heard Roddy's voice from over there, buddies. Did he not notice that? Well, anyways, if you're not hungry, then you can eat later. Just leave it here for now. Yes, I think I will. Poppy holds still as Stranger suddenly reaches over, fingers trailing the side of her hair, to the beginning of her braids. His hand recedes, and to her surprise, he sees a familiar object in his hand. A matchstick. Holds the stick towards her. When she reaches out to take it, bursts into a tiny flame. Take good care of it now. Match now flickering with fire, but not burning, floated above her palms. But mister. 1 a.m. Poppy. Poppy lets out a breath. He is blurry. Is that Roddy's face she's seeing? Wake up. Please wake up, Poppy. Please, don't let me be too late again. Roddy. Finger holding her slowly comes into focus. Poppy? Poppy, oh thank God. Poppy feels him shake as he holds her and looks away, but she can still see the tears forming in the corners of his eyes. He's crying. He's crying for her. She is worth crying for? Roddy, your ears are turning blue. What are you doing out here in the cold? Roddy whips his head back towards her so quickly. Poppy would have jumped out of his arms in surprise. She wasn't feeling so heavy. She'll be the one asking you that. The hell were you doing sleeping in the snow? Well, it's comfy. Forget it. Scotty, you can wait. I need to bring you somewhere warm. But he shakes as much snow as he can off Poppy as he stands, carrying her in his arms with ease. You're so light. Don't comment on my weight. Ray lets out a laugh as he starts to walk. Though his laugh was genuine, the sadness in it doesn't escape Poppy's notice. Roddy, what are you doing here so late at night? I can ask you the same. Something matches, but you don't work in sales. You have no excuse. Poppy, did you really forget? I'll forgive you this once. I said I wanted to see you again. I said you wanted to too. We'll meet in a week. Not then we'll meet on Christmas Eve, when you were certain you'd be here. Did I really say that? Didn't show you for the first time. A week into December. Oh. Bakers came by with some tough-looking men, so I dragged Father into hiding. So sorry. Like I said, I'll forgive you just this once. Even though you said you'd be here, I thought you'd be at the town square, so that's where I waited. Did you wait all night for me? Of course. Why? What do you mean, why? I want to see you, so of course I waited. Looked everywhere for you too. Why? You should have gone home. Snowing is so hard. Why would you wait for me? Probably wouldn't even be here. But you were, weren't you? Would have searched all night for you if I needed to. Just found you. Can't lose you again. When are you going to understand, Poppy? I would wait all night and walk kilometers for a snowstorm for you. Because you're worth every second, every hardship I had to face. And anyone who doesn't realize that is a fool. There's nothing if I can save you. I can sit next to you again. Poppy remained silent as Roddy explained why he trudged through the snow carrying her. She realized. It's true. He was telling the truth. For some reason, that made a deep pain in her chest. Huh? Couldn't stop the tears from flowing. It was just like before. Oh, you dummy. Haven't you cried enough? Now you're crying in front of Roddy. Poppy, what's wrong? Don't worry, we'll get to my place soon, and I'll start a fire. I'm sorry. Sobs and heaves, trying to stop her tears with her hands. It was just like before. But somehow it was so much warmer. Roddy cared. Someone cared without her asking. That person exists. Roddy exists. Thank you so much. Don't mention it. By the way, how far is a kilometer? Let's pretend it's from one end of the island to another. Walk the whole country for me. Yes. Oh, don't lie. I'm not lying. Please take a coach. Next few days happened in a blur. First, Poppy drifted in and out of consciousness as her body started to recover. Wasn't sure who came to see her or what the doctor said, but Roddy sat by her side the whole time. She knew because she could feel his hand on hers, because she kept seeing him in both reality and her dreams. Laughing alongside her as they ate stew and sat by the fire, gently patting her hand as she sat next to her bed. Eventually, Poppy woke, finally lucid to an empty room. Well, empty but warm room. Larger room than Poppy ever seen for a single bed. Far more luxurious, decorated than any room she'd walked into before. Shelves filled with books and glittery spines. Beautiful music boxes above a warm fireplace. These sheets. Poppy had never felt anything so soft before. But why was she alone? Couldn't have been all a dream. Cause otherwise she wouldn't wake here. But Roddy called out. There was no response. She grew worried. The room and the atmosphere is perfect, but there's a Roddy shit cut out of her, or out of it. Without him, it just isn't complete. Roddy calls again. When there's no answer, she pulls the covers off and gets out of bed. Or at least she tries to. Leg claps under her and she looks down to see bandages covering the entirety of her feet, reaching halfway up her knees on one leg, while they are wrapped past her knee on the other. I really messed myself up. Poppy? Heavy footsteps resound from the outside door before it bursts open. Frantic and tired-looking Roddy stumbles through. Poppy, what happened? I want to know where you went. Sorry, fell asleep cutting the vegetables. Here, let me help you up. Gently he bent down and put her arms around his shoulders to help her up. Does it hurt? I'll help you back to bed. It's too soon for you to get out. I don't want to keep sitting in bed. Despite that, Ruddy walks her back to the bed and lets her sit down. The moment her feet weren't pressing against the ground, she felt better. But it's painfully obvious that it isn't going to heal overnight. You won't. I promise you'll get better. But I have to go. Go where? Ruddy, can I really stay here? As long as you need. And I would hope you'd want to stay longer than that too. Do you remember what I said? I meant it. I want to be with you. And I hope you'd want to too. Please don't leave me again, Poppy. Poppy lost count of the number of times Ruddy left her speechless since she saw him again. She keeps acting like she is the treasure, but in her mind, pretty sure that he is the shining gem she can't believe appeared in her life. Of course, I promise. I'll stay with you forever. She meant it. Everything that happened felt too good to be true. Poppy thought all she had were cold nights curled on the floor, taking her father's rage, freezing on the streets, praying for someone to come and save her. Never thought the universe would answer her. Given a choice, why would she ever return to the life she had before? Was there ever a reason to suffer alone in the cold like she did? Take good care of it now. Poppy smiled. Yeah, I'll stay with you forever. With Ruddy, Poppy knows even the smallest fire will keep her warm. There's such a cute CG as well. God, that is adorable. Ending A unlocked. So there was other endings? Wondering how I could have gotten the other endings, but I don't think I'm gonna go get them because it sounds like it'd probably be a bad ending, and I'm slightly familiar with the Little Match Girl story, and it is quite a depressing read. So, yeah, if you guys want to find out what that ending is, yeah, well, link will be down in the description below for this, but, man, this was a sweet story. I very much liked the happy end that they gave this. Just their overall take on it. It's very cute, and just loved everything about it. Don't think I had the script scene 87%. I know I did skip the whole scene with her father, but yeah, overall still a very, very enjoyable read. I very much enjoyed it. And yeah, I think we'll be ending it off there. If you want to play it, as I said before, I think, link will be down in the description below, and yeah. I hope you guys find and enjoy Flame, because everybody deserves a little bit of warmth, or at least somebody that makes them feel